and it's time for another Kuroko no Basuke manga chapter review. Today I'm going to be talking about chapter 214 as well as chapter 215 because both of those chapters came out this week via the Scanlators, who are awesome. Here's a quick sum bums for you guys. That means summary. If you don't speak, Erin speak. After their first win on the trip to Nationals, Akashi declares that in order to keep the team from becoming complacent, they all must score at least 20 points a game, excluding Kuroko because, you know, reasons. Specifically, he calls out Almine and reminds him about the ace's role in team morale. However, Almine still begins to skip practices and the others start to recognize how unhappy he's growing with the sport. Kuroko, unsure of what to do to help his bestie, decides to call up his childhood friend for advice. Childhood friend whose name is finally revealed to be Ogiwara Shigehiro. And we also get to see his pretty face for the first time. That is chapter 214. As for chapter 215, Teiko has finally advanced to Nationals amid much public and media fanfare, and the team continues training because they're gonna have to do 6 matches in 3 days. I don't play basketball, but I think that's probably a lot. On opening day, Kuroko and Shige finally get to meet each other once again face to face for the first time in 2 years, and they agree to greet one another on the court. After attaining victory in both their matches of the first day, despite tremendous pressure and performance anxiety, Teiko learns that the next day they will be facing off against Kamizaki Middle School, the school where not only Shige attends, but also Inoue, who is Almine's strongest competitor and rival. Obvious first things, obviously first. Okay, first things first. Hello, Kuroko's childhood friend Shige. I love you already. Yes, I know, we still don't know that much about him, other than that he's pretty ditzy, but I'm incredibly interested to see what his basketball play style is like, so I'm really excited to see him on the court. I might have a soft spot for him because he talks when he has water in his mouth, and that might be something me and him have in common. Not saying we do, but I'm not saying we don't. Another thing, as I was reading this chapter, I had a revelation, a premonition, though you probably can't call it a premonition, it's just kind of a hunch and maybe it might happen, I don't know. What, now hear me out, what if Shige is the 5th member of Rakuzan's starting line? Because we don't know who he is yet. It could totally be that. The reason I think this is because Fujimaki introduced Shige as such a vital part of Kuroko's past, and it just seems like he's too important to not be a member of a high school basketball team that Kuroko and Seinen compete against. Plus, Rakuzan versus Seinen is going to be emotionally stressful enough, and this would just up that tension and make it even more interesting. Granted, Midorima at the end of the Erin versus Kaijo match said that Akashi has somebody exactly like him on the team, and Kuroko has said that Shige is more similar to Almine, so it's possible that I'm wrong. It's completely possible, and if I am wrong, I'm just going to cry over the lack of Shige in my future. It will be sad. After Shige's reveal, my favorite part about these chapters is the fact that we're actually touching on the pressure and the nerves that the Generation of Miracles is feeling. The anxiety and nervousness that comes along with performing in the public eye, especially in such an intense environment with such high expectations, is something that isn't touched on in sports manga nearly as often as it should be. Seeing all the Generation of Miracles except Akashi, because the guy's always level-headed and cool, actually shaking and feeling anxious was a nice realistic touch that I didn't even know that I wanted until I was actually reading it. With the majority of chapter 214 focusing on Almine, we continue to see this shift in his attitude towards basketball. Again, I am so in love with the fact that it's not just a boom, sudden change, but a gradual, slow unraveling about how he is coming to hate the sport he loved so endlessly. I am incredibly dreading the chapter when Almine faces off against whatever his name is. I'm having trouble pronouncing that one. Not because I don't want it to happen, but I get the feeling that Almine's victory over him is what's going to be the catalyst for his self-reliant playstyle. Which means we're probably going to see the denied fist bump between Almine and Kuroko. Overall, the pacing of these 2 chapters was a definite improvement from chapter 213. Though we are still moving rather quickly through this arc, the character development and plot reveals are not being hindered by it in any way. Next week begins the Teiko versus Kamizaki match, and I hope that we get to see the entirety or at least the majority of it. I think / really hope that this is incredibly likely, since overall the Teiko arc hasn't really had a match as important as this one that it could dedicate time and multiple chapters chapters too. Okay guys, that is it for my review of chapter 214 and 215 of Kuroko no Basuke. What are your guys' feelings? How do you feel about Shige? Is he what you were expecting? Do you think he could be Rakuzan's 5th member? If you don't, who do you think Rakuzan's 5th member is? Because I really want to hear more speculation on this, because I haven't heard anybody's opinions other than my own, because I can't talk to anybody else about this. So let me know who you guys think it is. I'm really excited for that reveal. No matter who it is, I'm really excited about it. I hope it's somebody that is being shown in this Teiko arc, because if it's not, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. As per usual, if you guys would like to find me on any other sort of social media site, I have a Crunchyroll profile, my anime list, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook. All of them are down there in the description below. Look, I have things. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye! I am incredibly dreading the next chapter when Almine faces what? Teiko learns that the next day they will be facing off against puppy feet.